Welcome back everyone to another edition of Figures from the Attic. Today we're back with another figure unboxing and review, this time of the newest Mattel Ultimate Edition, specifically of Scott Steiner. This is a figure I have been waiting for quite some time. The only Scott Steiner that I currently have in my collection is a WWE representation of Scott Steiner from like that 2003 era where he was way past his prime and it just didn't really hit. People thought he was going to be like a huge star for WWE after WCW folded, and it just wasn't meant to be. But this is a late stage WCW version of Scott Steiner, and it's going to go great in my WCW shelf, so I'm very happy to have him. I saw him at Walmart this past weekend, and I had to get it. So there he is. You see him with all the accessories. Let's just get him popped out and see what we're working with. But I do remember a couple years ago, they had a mock-up of like a WCW Nitro entrance stage, and it was going to be a Mattel Creations. If they had enough votes in, I think, like a little petition or something they had going on, they would have greenlit it, and people would have been able to buy it. And in that Nitro set, people kind of went wild over some of the figures that they included in that set, namely a WCW era Scott Steiner, and that's kind of where the buzz about these figures started. For Scott Steiner at least. But he was wearing a white singlet. So it was like the bleach blonde white singlet, kind of like when he first went on his own in WCW. But they ended up releasing this officially, where he's wearing the white, I'm sorry, not the white, the red trunks with Big Papa Pump there on the back and the Superman S on the front. Would I have preferred the white singlet? Yes. That to me is pretty iconic because it's when he first turned heel on his brother, and it's kind of like what I picture when I think of Scott Steiner. But this will do. I'm just going to go ahead and pop out some of the hands. For Scott Steiner specifically, I do like the fisted hands, so I can do the double bicep. So let's try that right now. But this Scott Steiner, like I mentioned, a later stage Scott Steiner in WCW. This was probably the height of his singles run. He probably never got more successful as a singles star than he did during this era. I would say around the year 2000. And I know it's from the year 2000 because of this straight jacket. I believe he had like a straight jacket Hell in a Cell type match against Booker T during that era. So that's what I picture when I see this. But there he is, Scott Steiner, in all his glory with the double bicep. Let's do a bicep. Oh, I wanted to do a bicep kiss for good luck, and the arm came off. Is that bad luck? I don't know. But look at the peaks on that bicep. That is insane. Those are massive arms. Very accurate for Scott Steiner. I don't think these arms would work on any other figure but Scott Steiner. I mean, just look how high that bicep goes. It's absolutely insane. It's like the size of my finger on a figure. That's wild. But you also do get, of course, the mesh. Let's see how the mesh looks. Just looking at it, it looks very cheap. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about this when I put it on. I mean, I guess it looks all right. It's not great. Let's see what it looks like with the sunglasses. And also mine's kind of warped. I might need to get like, I think I've seen online that people put like a hair blow dryer, kind of heat it up a little bit, mold it a little bit more. It does look a little better with the sunglasses. Now this head scan, while we're talking about it, he's kind of got like an open mouth. It's kind of an odd expression where you can kind of see the top and bottom row of his teeth, but he's not really smiling, he's not really grimacing, he's not really doing much. The other heads, you get one where the mouth is closed, but as you can see, it looks like the paint application on this side is a little off, so I probably won't use that one. I tried, they had a few of these at Walmart, and I tried to look through the window, you know, the box, to see which one had like the best paint application. They all had, to be honest with you, unfortunately, they all had some kind of issue. So I just kind of picked the best of the bunch, which ended up being this one. But I think I'm probably gonna rock this head. This head, it's got a pretty good expression, good paint application. One thing I do notice though is that the hair color on all of these It's not like platinum blonde. It's a little more subtle. It's almost like a pastel. So it's not like the platinum blonde that you're used to seeing on Scott Steiner. And maybe it looks a little more, no, I was gonna say it looks a little more realistic, but in real life, he did have like that platinum blonde hair, kind of like Cody Rhodes. So not sure why they went with that choice. Let's see how this one looks with the headdress and the sunglasses. You can kind of tell that Mattel really skimped out on this headdress. It's just one solid piece of plastic. It doesn't fit his head all that great, but it's not terrible either. It kind of reminds me of the TNA era Scott Steiner that they released. I think it was Toy Biz or Marvel Toys at that point. They released a Scott Steiner, and the headdress, just based off memory, kind of looked a little bit like this one, which I don't think is a good thing because that figure is like 15 years old and this figure came out this year. So I think at this day and age, I think Mattel has developed technology to do like actual chainmail. Like how cool would this figure be if it was actually like a movable mesh material and not just a solid piece of plastic? I would say is my biggest complaint about this figure. Other than that, I mean, the body mold is great. He looks gigantic. The arms again are awesome, very appropriate. The heads are all right, nothing special, but they do look like Scott Steiner, especially this one. Will I display him with this mesh, or not really mesh, I guess faux mesh headdress? I want to say no. I feel like it's not great. The quality is just not great on this thing, and it kind of takes away from the figure more than it adds to it. I wish it was real chainmail. I think Mattel, I believe in you. I think one of these days you can do it. One of these days you can give us a Scott Steiner with real chainmail headdress. You know, but beggars can't be choosers, as I always say. As an overall score, I'm a little underwhelmed. You also do get the championship. I have like 100 of those. Oh, actually, before I give a score, let's see what the straitjacket looks like. This is kind of like the one thing that maybe separates this from just a regular Scott Steiner figure. So let's see. I guess you put it in the front, like this. And then you have the straps in the back, because I believe you're supposed to put a straitjacket on like this from the front, right? I've never worn a straitjacket, so I don't know, but I think so. But yeah, I mean, that actually does kind of add something. That does kind of add something. He looks a little, actually, looks kind of like a mummy. Because, let's see, are you supposed to also tie his arms back? Are his arms, I think his arms might be too big. His arms are so massive that I don't think I can even tie them in the back, can I? Let me see. Can I do this? I'm just trying to tie that right there. His sunglasses came off. I guess that's how, no. His body is so massive that it's very difficult to tie the straitjacket in the back the way it's intended to be tied. Let's see if I can do this up. I think I got it. I think I got it. There we go. But I do that and then like the back straps undo. Like I literally can't get them across his massive back. If I stretch it, nope, it doesn't go. He's so massive that I can't put the straitjacket on properly, but if you just kind of hide the straps there in the back, I guess that does it. That'll do it. But there is Scott Steiner, the newest Mattel Ultimate Edition Scott Steiner. Am I disappointed? Yes. Am I happy to have in my collection? Also yes. Because I do like Scott Steiner. I do like this era of Scott Steiner, and I needed him for my WCW shelf. So at least that's what my figure collecting brain likes to tell me, that I did not make a bad decision here. So as an overall score, I'll go a 7.8. 7.8 out of 10 for the new Ultimate Edition Scott Steiner. As always, I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for more.